FS Curtis has built the CA series compressors in St. Louis, Missouri since 1979. The CA series is a line of two-stage, splash-lubricated reciprocating air compressors. These compressors range from 5 to 15 horsepower and are available in simplex and duplex configurations, as well as gas engine-driven models. Hello, I'm Kyle from FS Curtis, and today I'm going to be walking you through some of the features of the CA10 Ultra Pack compressor. So starting at this end of the compressor and working my way that way, you'll notice down at the very bottom here we have a ball valve condensate tank drain. What that allows you to do is at the end of the day when you're done operating the compressor, simply go up to it. You can twist the ball valve open to drain the condensation out, then you can close the ball valve back when you're done. The Ultra Pack compressors do come with an electronic tank drain that you can install on the end when you receive the compressor, but they all come with this ball valve drain. Here we have a liquid filled pressure gauge, which compared to a dry gauge that you would see on some machinery, with this compressor and all reciprocating compressors, the liquid fill gauge allows the needle to stay very consistent when the compressor is in operation. And the needle will stay very steady, so it's very easy to tell exactly what pressure the compressor is at as it's running. If you have a dry gauge on here, the needle will tend to jump as it's running, and it's hard to tell exactly what pressure the compressor is at while it's in operation. As I work my way this way, you'll notice up here from the pump to the cooler, or the after cooler on the belt guard, and then from the after cooler to the tank, we have these nice stainless steel braided flex hoses, which serve really two functions, one being in transit, shipping and handling. They're very resistant to any potential damage that could occur, as if something bumps into them, they won't necessarily start leaking. They're very flexible and able to be jostled around without causing a leak per se. And also when the compressor is in operation, the compressor is vibrating, the hoses do absorb that vibration between the pump and then the tank. So it helps prevent any leaks from forming on any rigid piping from the compressor to the tank. We also have the large copper tube aftercooler on the back, and how that works is as the compressor is running, the compressor flywheel is drawing air from the back of the machine to the front, and the cooler, as the air is being drawn across it, cools the compressed air down, which in turn means that the water will condensate, or the water condensation will form in the compressor tank before it goes down into your system. So it'll help collect the condensation in your tank before it goes to your plant or anything in your compressed air piping. Continuing to go this way, we have an internal low oil guard float. And what our low oil guard allows is if the oil level in the compressor were to drop below a critical level, it will not allow the compressor to start, which is great. If for some reason something were to catastrophically happen, it'll prevent the compressor from starting if there's no oil in the crankcase, which is great because then you won't have to worry about any potential damage caused to the compressor pump. As we go this way, I have a pressure switch here, control, and also a pilot valve control. The pressure switch would be your typical operation of off and auto. So when the compressor is in off, it's obviously turned off. When it's in automatic, the compressor will operate between two pressure set points that are preset from the factory, and the compressor will simply turn off and on as pressure is needed or called for from the tank. This also has the added benefit of when you're doing an initial startup on the compressor, it's very easy to check the compressor for the correct rotation. Simply turn the compressor on, make sure it's spinning the correct orientation, and you're good to go. You don't have to run over to a breaker on the wall to turn it off or on. Simply flip it on, make sure it's spinning the right way. If it's not spinning the right way, simply just turn it off. You can then rewire it and then run it again to verify operation. And then here we have the pilot valve. So what this does, it allows the compressor to run in a constant speed operation. So it can unload and load the compressor automatically between two pressure set points. So this is good for if you have an application where the air demand is fluctuating greatly and you don't want the compressor starting and stopping multiple times to wear out the motor and other electrical components. So all you got to do is simply twist the valve open, just twist the knob here. And what that does is when it reaches the maximum pressure setting, air will go up through this copper tube to the head unloaders on the pump. It'll hold them open, so the compressor will continue to spin, but it won't be compressing any air. Once the pressure drops below the lowest set point, the valve will close and the compressor will still be spinning, but now it will begin to compress air. And then if you don't want it to operate that and you want to just run off the pressure switch, simply twist the knob back in and close it and you're good to go. For more information on the CA series compressors and our other great products, please visit our website.